over your way.
Hey, what up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Welcome back to Juggalo Talk. And Megs joining me as always. God damn, it's been a minute.
Long time.
It's been a little bit since we've done a Juggalo Talk. Actually, I think the last episode was recapping the Gathering.
I think so. Dude.
So, I mean, that honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. That may just become like the norm for Juggalo Talk now.
Don't say that. Don't
Recapping
say that.
shows, maybe? I don't know.
Don't say that.
Because, like, we've been killing it on Megs' channel, live streaming, like, gameplays and stuff. So, if you enjoy our dynamic of us interacting with each other, obviously you should go check out her channel and subscribe. Link is in the description to go do so. Because we've been doing a lot of live streams over there versus over here. So, the Juggalo Talk is going to kind of, I feel like, be just that occasional stream. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to go.
I think that we've been really busy lately. And I don't want to, like, throw a bunch of excuses out. But there's just been, like, back-to-back stuff. We have some family stuff going on right now. And that has kind of, not that it's taking us away, but we've been giving our attention to that and spending time with that family members plural. So we really haven't been able to do live streams because on the weekends, it's just like we're trying to get caught up on laundry and everything. So, you know.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about today, you guys. I'm going to go over just a short itinerary. For those of you who are watching not live, that way you kind of know what to expect and what to look forward to and fast forward if you want to. We are going to recap Unity Fest, Fright Fest, and Hallowicked. We're going to go over the videos that we have both made for both of those, all three of those. We are going to go over what we liked and what we thought could like improve for the next Unity Fest, the next Fright Fest, the next Hallowicked, good and bad. We're going to go over all of it. We're going to talk a little bit about next year's plans. Are we going to Hallowicked? What's on our minds about that? We have a GoFundMe idea that we want to run by you guys. And then we have a new gaming, what do you call that? Not playlist. Series that we are thinking about doing, like monthly, perhaps.
What is that one? I don't really. Oh, okay.
Now we're on the same page.
I'm with you now.
So that's kind of what you can expect, and like always, a lot of banter and unprofessionalism between. But also, you may be wondering, Meg's drinking coffee, but she hates coffee. It's not coffee. This is Dr. Pepper with coffee creamer in it.
The homie Juggalo's BD John reached out to Megs on her channel and said that I guess out west that's a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't either. I used to live out west years ago.
So it's vanilla coffee creamer and Dr. Pepper, and y'all, it is good. You need to go try it.
Echo Side Fiend in the chat. Hey, what's up, man? I just realized there's one more place that I want to post this thing.
So do we want to start with like chronological order or whatever?
I would say sure.
Okay, so Unity Fest was first.
Yes.
We did not make it there in time because of DC. I'm just gonna throw you underneath the bus because we had so many conversations, and I don't want to say arguments, but discussions on what time we need to leave. Somebody did not listen to me.
Look, you wanted to get up.
We ended up going. We got there so late.
It wasn't that late.
The one thing that I wanted to do was the end of the Echo Side tournament, and I didn't get to do it.
I wanted to do it too
because we were so late.
I wanted to do it too.
I'm just saying.
So, Megs wanted to get up at 5 in the morning and hit the road.
Yes.
Which we did. The alarms went off at 5.
No. I got up at 5. You did not get up at 5. I got up. I got ready. I had her shit packed. And I'm like, come on, DC. And he's like, I
I'm
gotta
sorry.
get breakfast first.
Well, yeah, you gotta eat.
So I would just say that, like, and I don't want to make you feel bad or guilty, DC.
Yeah,
But it is something that really bummed me out.
I know.
Like, as we were getting closer, and I'm watching the GPS, and I'm like, we're not gonna make it in time. We're not gonna make it in time. I'm gonna miss this, and then I'm gonna miss that, and then I'm like looking at the itinerary, and I'm just like, God, sucks. Yeah. But like, it wasn't ruined. Like, we got to see the concerts at night, and that made it totally worth it on its own, regardless of the gaming. And that's why I don't want to make you feel bad. But if we're doing a review,
honestly, I was looking forward to it too, because I know I had like zero interest in doing the end of the Ecoside tournament at the gathering, and you like had fun with it and it looked fun. So I was like, yo, I should have done this. So I was actually looking forward to it, but I didn't know. Look, this is the first time going to Unity Fest. I didn't know anything about how anything was going to go there at all. It was like a first time experience. So it's kind of like we got there, we dipped our toes in the water, you know?
Yeah,
you can't see me on camera. I'm dipping my toe.
No. We got there way too fucking late. We go in there, everyone's gaming, and we're just standing there like, well, might as well leave.
Back it up. The doors opened at like 10 o'clock. They started the tournament at noon. We got there at like 12:30. So we were late. We weren't super late.
It started at 11:30.
The doors opened at 11:30.
You just said 10.
Whatever.
So your credibility is what I'm saying. You don't have credibility.
Exactly, Ecoside fan. A guy's got to eat. You got to have your coffee.
I don't eat breakfast, so I don't really have much sympathy for that. You could have ate something on the road. Like, you could have grabbed like a granola bar or something to go. We could have stopped at McDonald's and got you the coffee you wanted and a breakfast sandwich. Like, we could have made a trip of it.
I know. Look. I'll tell you what.
All I'm saying,
the next time we go up and they're having Unity Fest,
it was kind of like a bitter for me a little bit. Like, being on the road and like watching the GPS and like just knowing that we're not gonna get there in time, and it just sucked.
But did it ruin your whole weekend?
No. And like I said, the concert itself was worth the ticket. The ticket was only $30. Like, that alone was worth it. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I had fun without, that's why I don't want to make you feel bad.
Okay.
But it is something that like did bother me.
Okay. Well, lesson learned, and that's what I'm saying. Next time we're gonna go to Unity Fest, we'll go the night before.
So I'll
tell you what, we'll wake up at 3 a.m.
Okay, that cannot happen again. This is a glass. Okay. I will say, like, one thing that they could have improved on when we got there. Granted, yes, they were already in the middle of tournaments, but we walked in, nobody greeted us. There was no like, hey guys, next game starts in an hour or 3 o'clock. There was nothing. Like, we literally walk in. There was it 4 people? I think, it was 4 people doing a tournament. So groups of 2. So there's 8 people playing a tournament, 4 and 4. And then there was like 2 people watching. And like that was it. There wasn't like a game library. There wasn't like anything set up for us to do while we waited. I did not feel comfortable walking up and watching the tournament. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah.
If somebody would have said, hey guys, are you here for Unity Fest? Come on over. Like, we're in the middle of a tournament, but you're welcome to watch, kick back, grab a drink. Like, there was none of that. So it felt very much like just, I don't want to say this, like, not wanted.
It almost felt, I kind of had that vibe, like we were maybe intruding because we were there late.
Yes. Like, it just felt like we were not in the clique. Like, we were not welcome. Like, we didn't know anyone there. Nobody, like, welcomed us or said hi. And we're just standing there, like, trying to figure out, okay, who's here for Unity Fest and who's just here because they're setting up for the concert and setting up merch tables and stuff. And they were doing, like, sound checks and stuff. So we're just kind of like standing there for like the longest fucking time. And we're like, okay, so they're doing tournaments. Okay, they're doing this. And like, we literally were there like for a long time. And then we just kind of decided, you know what? Like, we don't have anyone to play with. There wasn't any extra games to play with.
Yeah.
We were just sitting and standing there at that point. So we just decided to go to our hotel and try to get like a nap before the concerts. So if I could say, like, if they could improve on something, that would be huge.
Yeah, like have a little games library. Like, setup, whatever. Or maybe even as simple as trying to, I don't know, I don't know if there's a good way to do this. Maybe you could have like a pre-setup where you have people sign up for the tournament ahead of time.
I just think, like, even to somebody by the door, like, you know, come on in, guys. Like, they're in the middle of the tournament. You're welcome to watch. You're welcome to grab a game from the library, but it's got to stay in this room, whatever. Yeah. I guess I was kind of, since we've been to DCG Con, and I knew it was not going to be anything like that, but that was my expectation.
Yeah, I think that's going into it. I was almost expecting it to be like that, like at least a games library.
I was shocked how little amount of people were there.
I know.
Like, yeah, honestly, legit shocked. I'm like, they don't have the DCG Con anymore, so I'm thinking this place is going to be packed.
Right.
Surely there'll be somebody we know there. No.
Yeah.
We didn't know anybody there.
It was honestly kind of heartbreaking for me because I really missed the DCG Con and I'm very vocal about that.
Yeah, me too.
And this was kind of like a little piece of that. And when I seen there wasn't very many people there, I was like, it was kind of sad that, like, I know I've heard and seen people say that, like, they literally do not care about the gaming stuff at all. That to me is very heartbreaking because I'm into gaming. That's a world I like to get into. So
you know, if Shanzi and Coma would have come up a day earlier, we could have brought our own games to play. I'm just saying.
That is true. That is true.
But you know, Mask and Machetes would have been great to play there because they had like a bar and like
like I would legit like to, like, obviously I haven't really been vocal about this. I've ordered the special edition of Masks and Machetes from Low Key. And my plan is for us to really get good at that game and potentially host it at an event, a gathering, or whatever.
I think if we do Unity Fest again, what I would do differently is I would want to bring some of our own games to play.
Yeah.
And ideally, unless someone else is going that we know, I don't really see the point of us going early so we can sit and play together when we can play at home.
Yeah.
So, unless Timmy wants to come out a day early next time.
Well, and that's the thing about the Fright Fest and Hallowicked this year. It fell like in the middle of the week, beginning of the week.
Yeah.
That put a huge damper on things too, because like our normal tradition with Timmy and with Coma and with Shanzi and when Chaos goes, like our tradition has always been the day after we go get breakfast and then say our goodbyes and hit the road. We weren't able to do that this year because I had to get back home. I had laundry to do. We had groceries to get. We had to go get our dogs from the daycare we left them at. So
which we're never doing that again.
Yeah, we're not doing that again.
That's a whole nother rant. And we've used these people like 3 times.
That was like the 3rd or 4th time. Yeah.
We took them there the last Hallowicked.
No, it was when we went on our anniversary or when our honeymoon, and then it was
the gathering.
Lights Out. Then it was the gathering. So yeah, this was the 4th time we've used them.
We didn't use them last year for Hallowicked?
We didn't go last year.
Oh. Yeah, and like we really haven't had any issues with this boarding place.
Right.
But this year was awful. And like I don't ever want to put either dog in boarding again.
Yeah.
Not there at least.
Right. Well, and honestly, I don't even want to at all, just because like their mood, their you could just tell they were like sad.
Well, and I don't want to like bore your audience. I don't know if you mind me like ranting about it.
I think
we're ranting anyway.
I would say I think people would enjoy it.
So we've never had any issues with this place until this last time. We're up at what was it, like Fright Fest at this point or something. It was day 3 that they were in the boarding facility because we had to put them in a day early so we could be to Unity Fest on time. But that didn't happen.
I know.
Anyways, they never like updated me like how are they doing, and like I told them I'm like, please like update me. I don't want to bug you guys when you're at work. Like just text me, like let me know. And they didn't. So the 3rd day I'm like, how are they doing? Like is everything okay? And they said they didn't eat. They haven't eaten for 3 days. And so I'm kind of freaking out. And what really pissed me off is when we went to go pick them up, I put dry food in there, which I figured they would protest. I put canned food in there, and then I put dog treats. And I told them when we dropped them off, like our older dog will pout and like not want to eat for you. Give her the treat. I don't care how much you give them. It doesn't need to be measured. They're free feeding. Whatever you want to give them, give them. So when we picked them up, they had all their original food still. So I'm like, okay, so they didn't eat their dry food, and they didn't even try to give them canned food, doggy treats. They just were like, oh, they didn't eat. So that upset me. And then the other thing is my one dog shit all over her kennel. Had like diarrhea because she didn't eat.
Yeah.
But Holly was. And they didn't clean her up. Like, we got there and she had shit all over her chest, all over her legs, all over her bed, everything. And I don't expect them to groom our dog, but for $230 fucking dollars, you could have wiped her down with some baby wipes. Yeah. I don't mind that she still smelled like shit, but the fact that she had literal feces on her and had been sleeping in it, and she's 13 years old.
Yeah.
That bothered me. So they weren't being fed, they weren't being kept, and I don't know if they had like different staff this time or something, but they were like, I don't want to say lethargic or whatever, but when we got home, they were like scarfing food and scarfing water and like had all this anxiety. They wouldn't leave her side, and I just felt this overwhelming like guilt that like we were going and having like the time of our life, but like they were miserable.
Yeah. It does kind of make you feel like that, but so never again will we be going there.
Yeah, so we've kind of talked about, because my dad works like 12-hour shifts, but with commute it's like 14 hours. So he just can't, like when we went on this trip to Hallowicked, it's just too much for him.
Yeah. He
says he would do like a day or so, but it's just too much to do like more than that. So we kind of talked about like in the future, if we just go up to Hallowicked or something for like one day, that we would have my dad take care of them. But if it's going to be more than that, like we had talked about like the gathering or something, we would just have to get a hotel that like we would just have to pay the extra cost. Like I don't know what else to do at this point. So, but Ecoside Feeding has a good point. Like with cats, it's you can leave them alone for a few days. You can,
yeah,
they're a lot less maintenance, but so I mean, I guess we'll just have to like take them. And I don't know what that means for the gathering. Does that mean we have to leave like halfway through the day and go back to the hotel?
Probably, yeah.
Take them out, feed them, put them. I mean, I just don't know what that means for us in the future, but that's not going to be an option anymore, unfortunately. Yeah. So, but yeah, so the Unity Fest concert part was amazing, you guys. Like at first I was like, it was a little sad. There was like nobody there, but your girl got front row, so I'm not complaining. I didn't have to fight for front row.
It was a very intimate setting for sure. That's definitely one thing I liked. We ended up getting there really kind of early because when we first went there around noon, the guy gave us our bracelet. He said, "You can come and go for now," and then I think he said when the show starts at 6, there's no re-entry.
It actually started at 5:30. And the openers went from 5:30 p.m. till the next day. It was just after midnight. Oh, yeah, just after midnight. And then Light and Boondocks and Hell's Kitchen went on to like 2 a.m. But I was like, God damn, how many openers are there?
Well, so the thing about Unity Fest, there technically is like a main act. So like Hell's Kitchen and Light were like the main act.
I just did not anticipate having to sit that long before the actual show.
Right. Well, and that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be like uniting the underground.
But we're not able to leave. That's the part I didn't like.
Yeah.
I was either you stay here for 6 hours and wait for Light, or you don't get in. And I didn't like that. Like,
yeah.
He said no re-entry, and I was like, bathrooms are out here.
Yeah.
So we went in, and I'm like, first thing I'm doing is like looking for bathrooms just so I know where they are. And this guy like stopped and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, "Bathrooms." He's like, "No, we're doing VIP back here. You can't get back here." And I was like, "Well, that guy said no re-entry." Because he's like, "Well, you can use those bathrooms for now, but then once the show starts, then you can use these." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like that's too much.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's just too much.
He was nice about it.
Yeah, he was.
That guy was Andy. He's the one that puts on Unity Fest.
It just was like
So he asked if we were VIP, and we said no. He said, well, right now it's VIP only back here.
Yeah.
And you asked about bathrooms. He said they are back here. Once VIP's over, then you can come back.
But for me, it was the anxiety of I can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't have to go, now I have to go because I can't go.
Right. Which and at that point you still could go out. Yes.
Because they said that no re-entry after 6 p.m.
Right. It was 5:30 at that point.
But they started at 5:30, so it really wasn't 6 p.m. It was 5:30. We just happened to be in there, thank God, or they wouldn't have let us back in. Yeah. That was the anxiety I had of like, if I leave to go to the bathroom, I can't get back in. That made me like anxious.
Yeah. Even
though I didn't have to go to the bathroom, now I'm like, well, do I have to go now? You know what I mean?
Right.
I just felt like it was, I don't know. But the venue itself was really nice.
It was nice.
Like, I really liked the venue. They had merch set up in a separate room. They had the main area where they had like the seating and a bar and the stage.
Yeah, there was plenty of seating.
Yeah.
So it was an opportunity to sit down if you needed to, get up, move around if you needed to, which I definitely took advantage of that at points. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great venue, and the people who were running it were great. Like, honest to God, like they had their shit together. Like they were like, next opener. Like they were not pulling around. And like there was a few people that were talking too much on stage, and they like legit pulled them and put the next people up.
Yeah. And it was like they kept the show going. Yeah. So it was, which was good because there was a lot of acts.
Yeah. I just didn't like being trapped like that. Like, I'm used to being able to, like, skip openers if I want to.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the fact of, like, you're here or you're not. And I didn't like that feeling. And I don't know if that was maybe because they didn't have staff to watch the door.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. There might have been, like, a reason for it. But I did not like that trapped feeling.
Yeah. But everybody, I'd say everybody at Unity Fest absolutely killed it. And there was one group there that I didn't even know was in the works. Carnivores is the name. It's Zitro and Class. Like they went on stage. I was like, "What? Why have I not heard of this group?" So they said something about they're going to have a new album coming out in November. So if you're a fan of Class, or you're a fan of Zitro, or you're a fan of LSP in general, you might already know about that. But if not, then there you go. Carnivores, new group.
But overall, I did like the venue. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm complaining so much. The only other thing that like I would change or recommend for them is to provide free water. Because when we got there, the second time we got there, it was like 4:35, and the show didn't get over till like after 2 a.m. We went that long without water. Like we didn't have anything to drink the whole night, and it was a lot to sit there that long without food and water. They had a bar, but the prices were outrageous.
Right. Well, I think a lot of times with concerts and shit, they don't allow outside drinks so that you like have to buy drinks. It's a way to support the venue.
I didn't say they should let me bring in drinks. They should have free water.
Oh yeah.
You should have like water accessible for people or something. I don't know. That's
part of the way that they support the venue, though.
Okay, but to not let somebody out for 10 hours. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're in for the night, but then not give you free water. That's a lot. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like that. But I like the venue. I like the people who ran it. I love the show. Light went on, killed it. And then Hell's Kitchen, Boondocks, and Buckshot. I got it. It's a lot of bees. Yeah. It was a really good show. They all performed great.
Can we just say how Buckshot, like, I don't know if anyone saw the footage or if anyone was there. When Buckshot came out on stage, he looked like he wanted to murder somebody. Like, that was the look on his face, was that I just want to kill somebody.
Maybe he was just, like, tired.
I just kind of took it as he's really in the zone. But for real, like, he was, like, glaring out at the crowd. And I'm like, at one point, he looked right at me. And I know he didn't recognize me because the lights had to have been. So it was kind of like, it was like this just moment of like, damn, he's ready to kill somebody. It was crazy. So
Ecoside Fiend said that most venues are supposed to provide water at no cost, and not this one, I don't think, because they had.
Well, we had to ask.
They had. Well, they were this. Okay, so I didn't ask, but I did see people buying water, and they charged them for it. So because someone would come up and say, I need 2 water bottles, and then they would I couldn't hear the conversation, but they would hand over a credit card. So I don't know for sure, I guess, but
yeah,
I did live stream Light Set, Boondocks, and Hell's Kitchen with Buckshot. I did live stream that on my channel, and then I also vlogged all the other clips. I can't remember if it's live or not yet, but watch out for that.
Yeah. So when you live streamed Light and Hell's Kitchen, that kind of the reason we did that was
like a test run.
It was a test for Fright Fest to see how well her phone did, to see how well her battery life did, because going into it, we kind of wanted to do a live stream of Fright Fest, of the Green Book show. So, yeah, absolutely, Lil D. We had fun.
That was just like a little test. So I did vlog all of the other openers, not all of them, but most of them. And I got some clips of us in the hotel and stuff like that. That's its own video. But then there is an actual live stream. And somebody asked me how to... I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I'm not going to say names. But somebody commented on my Green Book video, where's the link to Hallowicked? And I'm like, if you go to my channel and you click on videos, it's not going to be there. But then if you click on live videos, it's underneath that.
Yeah. YouTube's constantly changing the pages and stuff. And
somebody else, I had to laugh. They commented on my Green Book video, same video. When was this concert?
Oh, I seen that one.
And I'm like, if you look up, it says 1 day ago. And if you look up above that, the thumbnail says the actual date. Literally, it's a flyer of the show. I'm just saying. So, yeah, but the live streaming worked out really, really good. And it saved me a lot of editing time. You guys don't have to wait a couple weeks. And then, I can go back and watch the show in its entirety. That's amazing. I don't know if you guys know or not, but we've had some computer issues.
Yes.
And basically, if the video is going to be over 20 minutes, it just won't edit it and save it. Yeah. So we're putting all this time into editing. And then when we go to save the video, the whole computer crashes. And so it has to be under 20 minutes. So the gathering vlog that I did, that's why it's not edited very nicely. Somebody commented that. What? And I'm like, girl, listen, I know it's not edited to its best abilities because I did it on my phone. I couldn't edit it on the computer or I wouldn't be able to get that vlog out.
Oh.
So yeah, it's not edited as you know what I mean, as best as it could be, but it is what it is. Yeah. So that's why we wanted to do the live stream too, was I want to be able to do the full sets, but I can't with our computer issues that we're having. Which
hopefully will be fixed soon. So
we'll see. But yeah.
I do want to address in the chat. Anthony Purcell says, you guys each took days off work and all the other expenses. How much in total? $2,000 at least, I bet.
Too fucking much.
The hotel, so we stayed in a motel for the first night.
Which was pretty nice, honestly.
Which was nice. That was only $95 one night. And then we checked into a hotel in downtown Detroit for the last 2 nights. And I want to say that was $230 for 2 nights. It was a really good price for an actually pretty nice hotel.
But the fucked up part was once we got there, and we checked this. DC checked, they have a parking garage on site. We get there, they wouldn't let us park our own cars. It was valet only, $40 a night, and you couldn't get out of it.
Yeah. So we did get hit with that. So there was an
extra $80 that we weren't expecting to spend, so that sucked. Plus, Unity Fest was $30 each.
Unity Fest was $30 each. Fright Fest, we did the 4 tickets sell. It was $80 for that.
Yeah. And then we gave 2 tickets or sold 2 tickets or whatever.
Right, to the homie Ecocide Fiend. And then I forget, I think Hallowicked was $50 each. Because we ordered it right after the gathering when they had that sale going on, the pre-sale. So it was only $50 for Hallowicked. So in total with gas and everything, I'd say between $500 and $1,000.
Well, dogs were $236, which is another thing I was pissed off about. Was they originally told me it was $177, so I went there with $200. We didn't end up buying merch from Hallowicked, so I had the extra $30. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had it on me.
Yeah.
But they like charged me for like an afternoon pickup, and I was like, bro, you guys knew that we were coming in the afternoon. I don't know why this is like such a shock.
Right.
And how did we go from 177 to 230? Like it just, that place was just a mess.
it was a cleanup, half-ass clean up the poop fee.
Yeah, and yeah, it was a whole thing. They were awful, but yeah, I really enjoyed live streaming it, and then I didn't have to worry about like the computer crashing and stuff. So that was kind of the test run.
Yeah.
My battery barely made it, but it made it.
Right.
I don't know. I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So if you want to talk any more about Unity Fest.
Yeah, actually, I want to talk a little bit about Straight Jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He did a good set. I was shocked.
So Straight Jacket was there. He performed, did a great set, performed some new songs from his new album, Pink Coffin, which is dropping. I don't remember when he said it was dropping, but I know it's coming soon. But actually, I purposely wore my Pushin' Daisy shirt, which I found out from him. I have the only shirt in existence now because when he put it out, apparently that art or whatever was copyrighted. And he said because Young Wicked was on the track, M&E actually got hit up with the cease and desist. So they reached out to Straight Jacket like, hey, there's this company having issues with the artwork. So there was this whole ordeal, and he ended up having to take it down. So I ended up with the only shirt in existence for that shirt. So when I had it, I had like turned my back towards him, and he like came up and he like, you know, touched my back. He's like, "Oh, hey man, love the shirt." And he turned and then he started to tell me. And then I think it clicked and he realized who I was. He's like, "I've seen you wear it on stream before." So I ended up getting into a really good conversation with him. We chatted for like 30 minutes. It was a great conversation. You know, we talked about some shit. And one thing I wanted to share was the song Moonlight on Boondocks' newest album. He said it originally was going to be a song for his album, but when he sent it to Buckshot and Buckshot laid his vocals, he ended up, when Straight Jacket got it back, he was like, yo, actually, you can have that song. So that's how that ended up on Buckshot's album, and it's a great fucking song. It's a standout one for me, for sure. But yeah, Straight Jacket killed it on stage. Man, I'm just a fan of Straight Jacket. I've been a fan of his ever since the first time I saw his name on the Shapeshifter Prelude that ABK put out back in like 2015, I think it was 2016. No, it was 15. So like I've been aware of him since then, and I think he's a great producer. He's a good he puts out great music, I think, and he just all around seems like a really genuine, down to earth guy. So
yeah,
that was a standout moment for me from Unity Fest, was being able to have that conversation with Straight Jacket.
I think it was more than 30 minutes. Like it might have been like an hour or two.
It was a good conversation.
Seeing him perform, like I didn't know he was going to perform that night, and I've never like seen him perform. That was my first time, and I will say like I was so impressed by the different genres that he can sing.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of, I don't want to say all over the place, but like in a good way.
Well, see, because he was at one point he was signed to Native World. He was signed with ABK. That was kind of how he that's how he got linked up with ICP and Psychopathic Records.
Well, I definitely liked it.
Just through that.
And I'm definitely like down, like if he's got any music, like listening to.
Oh, I've got an album of yours. I think there's a few songs on it you definitely like. So when he because he was signed with ABK, he kind of was basically like a Juggalo horrorcore rapper when he first started. So, and he's evolved, and I'm just a fan of what he's doing, you know. I take that back. I don't think it was necessarily Native World that got him his foot in the door with Psychopathic. It was actually Light, because Light,
whatever it was, like he did great at performing, and I really enjoyed his set, and I'm definitely excited to hear more music from him.
Yeah, I'm excited for Pink Coffin.
Anthony had asked if we got paid for that day that we missed, and neither one of us got paid for the days that we missed, unfortunately.
Yeah. But thankfully, where I work, our pay periods worked out to where the first day of the new pay period was November 1st. So on the last pay period, I technically only missed 2 days, and on this pay period, I'm only going to miss 1. So it won't hurt as bad. So that's nice.
Yeah, and then
Coma's buffering. Coma's in the chat.
Coma's always buffering. So overall, Unity Fest was definitely a hit. I truly enjoyed it. I would go again in a fucking heartbeat for $30.
Yeah.
If you're already going to Fright Fest and you're planning on going to Hallowicked or either one or both, you're gonna be there. Right. Just go up a day earlier, man. It's worth $30.
Yeah, it was dope.
And think about how many people we got to see perform.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of people. And
then I really liked how they had the merch set up too in the other room. I liked that.
Yeah, because you could actually go and talk to the fucking merch guys and hear what they're saying, and they could hear what you're saying.
Yeah, because it was in a separate room, so it wasn't nearly as loud.
Yeah.
So.
But
yeah, totally would go it again. Yeah, there's a few things that could be improved, but overall, I thought it was a great show. The people who hosted it did a great job, and I would totally go again in a heartbeat.
For sure. So I guess moving it to the next day, I want to talk a little bit about adventures that we had before Fright Fest. So like I had said, we stayed in a motel the first night. So on the second day, our checkout from our motel was at 11, and our check-in, of course, wasn't until 3. So we had 4 hours to kill, and we ended up kind of all over the place up in New Baltimore, which, if you're not familiar, it's basically a suburb. It's in Detroit, but it's a northern suburb of it. Nice little area. We ended up going over by the lake. I gotta
tell the parking security though.
Yeah,
I gotta tell that.
So if you don't know, we play Pokemon Go. We went to this park, and we're sitting there playing.
Let me tell you.
And then I'll let Megs take over from here.
So DC was arguing with me about that we should be parked there, and he was saying they're gonna say something to us because we were parked where the trucks and trailers were, but that was where we could reach the Pokemon stops. I'm no, they're not gonna say anything. Sure enough, a fucking security guard comes up, and all I can think about was oh my god, I'm never gonna live this down. DC's gonna hold this over my head forever. And sure enough, he's you guys didn't see the sign, and I was thinking, yeah, I'm never gonna fucking live this down. You're just gonna be for the next 2 hours. I told you we shouldn't work there. And we're oh no, what sign? He's yeah, it says no juggalos.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of taken back by it, but then he laughed, so it was he was joking. But he made a couple recommendations for places that we could go that would be more tourist. He was really nice. It just was
Yeah, because we were going to go out. They had a pier. We were going to walk out on the pier. And he's no, you don't want to go on this pier. This pier sucks. He's but if you go up this road and go up a little bit, there's another park with a pier there. Mm-hmm. It's a much better view. Which
we got to see Michigan's tallest flag.
Yeah, which, I guess that's probably what he meant by a tourist attraction.
And then we went on the pier, which I did a vlog for that. It's not uploaded yet, but I did vlog us going out on the pier and everything like that. So that's another video down the road.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a fun. We made it a little adventure.
It was cold.
It was very cold that day, especially out.
But you know what? I think that's the first time I've ever laid my eyes on Canadian trees.
Yeah.
Because you can look across the lake and you would see Canada. That's just crazy to me. I know where Michigan is, but I just didn't realize how close it was. Because even the security guy at that pier was hey, if you see anybody swimming and they ask you for a ride, don't do it. I was you ain't got nobody patrolling this area? What the hell?
Yeah, but he was a cool guy. That was a fun interaction for sure. Jeff says, remember when gathering of the Juggalo tickets were 180? I do. Our first gathering, gathering 17, I think that's how much they were.
Yeah. I enjoyed our little adventure on the pier. It was kind of romantic, and it was honestly just nice to get out of the hotel and the car for a little bit and walk around.
Yeah. We went to a shopping mall.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We went to Spirit Halloween.
DC had to get his Bath and Body Works.
I went to Bath and Body Works and got my my coffee and whiskey fragrance that I wear.
But I still prefer bourbon. Like that's what DC should smell like.
If you, for real, guys, if you hung out or met me at all during Fright Fest, Unity Fest, or Hallowicked, and you like dabbed me, walked by me, and smelled something that smelled amazing, that was probably me. It's bourbon from Bath and Body Works. Go get it. You'll smell amazing just like me.
It does smell good, guys.
Like there's a clip coming on a video of hers eventually at some point, but I feel like I just want to redo it here now too. Like if you go to Bath and Body Works right now and find the bourbon fragrance, just walk up and just like air hug that area. Like spray the cologne and just air hug it and close your eyes and just picture me. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be hugging me in that moment.
But you're like so hairy though, so they'd have to picture like hugging like a rug or something.
Yeah, well, take a rug with you. Take a rug with you. Hug it.
Oh my god, because like obviously he's really hairy. But at the hotel, the second one we went to had white bed sheets.
Yeah.
And like legit, like every time I'm like, oh my god, there's like fucking hair everywhere.
Yeah, man.
But I think like because they were white sheets, your hair showed up more.
Yeah, probably. Solid Psycho. I've tried Noir. I didn't really care for Noir, but they got that new coffee and whiskey or whiskey and coffee. It's pretty damn good.
It's kind of like a vanilla-y cologne smell.
That's what I use body wash wise, and then I spray the bourbon cologne, and the two of them mix very well actually.
So that was nice. We went to Spirit Halloween, went to Bath and Body Works. We like ran over to JCPenney's to go to the bathroom.
Five Below. We went to Five Below as
Five
well.
Below, yeah.
So.
And then we headed over to our hotel, got unpacked,
checked in, all that good jazz.
Yeah, vlogged a little bit, and then we got ready for Fright Fest.
Yeah. Which was the shit. This was actually our first Fright Fest ever. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize this until after.
From Fright Fest.
I did get this at Fright Fest. I also have another one.
Can't really see.
Which she's got a video on her channel of what we bought at Fright Fest. Again, link to her channel is in the description. Go check it out. But yeah, Fright Fest was the shit. And I didn't even realize this until after Fright Fest was over. Not only was this year the 30th annual Hallowicked, this was the 20th annual Fright Fest.
Yep.
And Green Book.
Yep.
Well, Green Book came out earlier this year, but they were doing an anniversary show for the album, but they didn't even announce anywhere that this was the 20th annual Fright Fest that they've done.
Yeah.
I didn't see that anywhere.
It was on the advertisement. What are you talking about? Did you even watch Megs' video?
That was the 20th for the Green Book.
Yeah.
They didn't advertise this was the 20th anniversary of Fright Fest.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Fright Fest started in 2003.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a big year for Halloween because Hallowicked was 30, Fright Fest was 20.
And I want you guys to know, when I live streamed the Green Book tour, I got as close as possible. Let me tell you, I spent an hour like trying to weasel my way through. That was as close as I could get without like drop kicking somebody, basically.
Right. Legit, I always tell people when you go to concerts, you're going to find me in the back.
I could tell like you were like so uncomfortable, but I was like, we gotta get closer. Come on.
She was like, she had a hold of my hand and she snaked and slithered her way through the crowd. Yeah. Echo Side Fiend, who's in the chat right now, was with us. And he, like, at one point I looked back and I could see him. He was like 5 people behind us.
Sorry about that.
Megs pulls us through a little bit more. I look back and I can no longer see him.
I'm sorry we left you, Timmy, but my tactic was I had DC's hand like this, right? And then as soon as anybody else would merge, I like darted and went with them. So that was like my strategy to like get closer and like, I'm sorry I left you behind.
Yeah, she would see somebody start to move. She'd turn back, grab my hand, and as soon as they got out of the way, she'd start pulling. And I see Coma Black saying that he was surprised we went that close.
I don't want to get blamed for pushing other people out of the way, so I just go with them.
But yeah, Coma said that he was surprised we actually got close. I was not that was not my plan. That was all her. I was totally content being in the back, but I also knew she wanted to live stream it. So when she did it, I didn't really protest. Like, I just wanted to make sure we found a nice pocket. We actually did. If you went to Fright Fest and you really kind of knew the layout, there was a section to the right that was the ADA section. Towards the front of that, we were just on the outskirts of the ADA section.
Yeah, when I fingered some guy's asshole.
Oh, yeah.
They had like a barrier that I was like resting on because I have back issues. So and I use a cane, but he was holding onto my cane for me so I could hold onto the barrier. And so my hand was like this on the barrier, like in front of me, like kind of at an angle like this. And this guy like backed up, and it just happened to be the right height. And he happened to be wearing basketball shorts. So truly, I am sorry.
That's on him.
That if he felt assaulted, but it literally like whoop, and he like jumped up and looked at me. I'm like, bro, I didn't move. You backed into me.
Right.
And so then later he like brushed it again, like just barely, and I felt his butt cheeks like, and he like moved. And I was like, dude, I'm not touching your ass. Like, you're backing your ass onto me, sir.
Your ass is touching me.
I was here first. Yeah, I've claimed this spot.
Right.
Like, you don't want your butt touched. Like, you know.
Move forward, man.
I know that, like, balcony seats and stuff are really nice. But there is an atmosphere difference, a different experience, like, being in the pit. Just feeling people, like, it's just a different experience. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Not that one's better than the other. And it's just like we hadn't done that for a while. We hadn't like been in the pit for a while. And it was just nice to be in the pit.
And so
it was nice to just like let loose and not mosh pit, but you do kind of like bump up against each other. You're dancing, you're feeling each other. Like, it's a different experience. Yeah. You're all just like,
and that's why
feeling each other's energy, you know?
And I will say, like, you pulling me further into the crowd, I was okay with at Twisted because I didn't have to worry about dodging flying objects. You know what I mean? Like, there's projectiles at an ICP show. I'm like 100% not going that close to the stage.
Yeah, no, like Hallowicked is totally different. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to probably get that close to Hallowicked, but
like my eyesight sucks bad enough. The second Faygo starts getting on my glasses, my vision's completely impaired. I'm getting nailed. The last 2 times we got close enough to get nailed, I got nailed. So I'm good just hanging out in the back. I've done my time.
I can't be at an ICP concert and vlog and watch my glasses and make sure I'm not getting pickpocketed and not get pelted in the face. It's just too much.
Nah, Warlock says you got to be close enough to feel that Faygo, man. I have felt it. I've done my time. I'm totally good hanging in the back. You know what I mean?
So I want to say though, like, the venue that Fright Fest was at, love the venue, love the layout, love the seating options. Like, I mean, we didn't get balcony because it was cheaper to, you know.
Yeah, it was gonna be like $30 extra, and knowing now. Yeah. Next time we go, if it's at St. Andrews, we're doing the balcony.
But I like that you had the option to be on the floor or get a balcony. And like, I like too that the balcony looked like it was split. Does that make sense? Like there was 2 layers to the balcony.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
Because the last Twisted show that we went to, the balcony was 1 level. And even though I was on the balcony, because there was a guy in front of me, I couldn't see anything. And that's when I snuck into VIP and stole some guy's seat.
Yeah.
And DC was like, oh my God.
We're not supposed to be here.
That's someone's seat. He's not using it. I can't see. It's not my fault. I'm 5 foot.
Yeah, it was funny.
He's 6 foot. He could stand behind me, okay? So, like, that was, when I seen that at the balcony of this year, I was like, oh, that's a really nice feature. Because then I could probably still see. So at this show, the only bad part was about half of the show, there was somebody like in front of me, and I literally could not see either one of them. And I had to have my arm like fully extended to the live stream. And so I'm looking up at my phone and I can see better than like the actual concert. Yeah. And oh my God, my arms were like legit fire. And then I would like switch. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that anymore. Right. And then I was thinking like the track with like 3 more songs. 2 more songs. Okay, this is the last song. Yeah. But like half of the concert I could see, and that was like absolutely magical. Of course, just being that close, and being in the pit, like it's a whole experience in itself.
And I do have one critique for St. Andrews Hall. Like I said, we were close to the ADA section, which if you don't know what that is, it's the American Disability Association. So basically, everyone with wheelchairs was right there. There's no way they could see that stage. When we were going to leave the venue, there was a guy upset because he could not see.
He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So his options are limited. So I do get why he was upset, but his behavior was not
unacceptable for sure. Like, he was yelling, and he was yelling at venue staff. So if I was going to offer any kind of critique for St. Andrews, I would say that section needs to be elevated.
Yeah.
And they need to get a little wheelchair lift in there.
Yeah.
There's churches and stuff that have them.
Yes.
So it's a possibility. But that's just something I would recommend for them is like have that section be elevated enough that anyone in a wheelchair can like wheel right up and maybe like their chair is at the length of at the height of someone else's head.
Yeah.
So they can just sit there and see no problem.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That would be my only suggestion for them. But yeah,
But I love like down in like the basement where the merch was, they had this giant projector of the stage. So we missed Boondocks' set because we were in line for merch, but we were able to still watch it.
Right.
That was so cool.
That was awesome.
They actually had a line for merch. It was going super smooth. They had 2 people working, and it was, okay, you're next. Yeah. They kept it moving. You got your shit. They slid you down to this open countertop where you bagged your own shit, and they just kept it moving. And then after Twisted's merch, you had access to like ABKs and stuff. It was set up so nice. Yeah. I loved it. And I also really loved that they had the sizes listed on the shirt, like on a piece of paper next to the shirt. And they would come by with a Sharpie and like scribble out what was not available anymore. So you could very clearly, it wasn't crossed out, it was scribbled. Yeah. I was like, oh, that one has this. Oh, that one has this. And then one thing I noticed, they had like the back of every shirt. And I'm like, I love that because I hate being in merch line and debating between like 3 shirts and then having to ask them, can I see the back of that one? Can I see the back of that one? I hate to bother you, but I also need to see the back of that one too. You know what I mean? Like, that's just,
Dude said, how'd the stage not collapse with the car on it and all those inches? What are you talking? Oh, I think he's talking about Hallowicked. We haven't got to that yet.
But yeah, I love that venue. I think that not only was the venue like laid out really good, but like, I don't know if it was Twisted who did it or whatever, but like it was all set up nicely. Like it was well planned, well executed. They had a projector. If you haven't seen my live stream, they had a projector. They had Tech 9 on there. They had Jay and Shaggy singing their parts.
They had Push Up Bill. They had E40. Like it was really cool.
Magical.
And for me, it was a game changer because up until that point, other than like everyone being there, like Wizard of the Hood, like this was the first time you got a true front to back album performance, even without everybody there involved.
Yeah.
Like that was groundbreaking to me.
Yeah.
To do that. And you know, I want to applaud Twisted for that. That was the shit. Because my brain immediately was like, this, like, there's so many things they can now do with that.
They did it in a way that, like, us as, like, the consumer, the ones who were buying the ticket to come to the show, we enjoyed it in its entirety.
Right.
And they didn't do it in a disrespectful way.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I would assume, like, if Jay seen that or whatever, like, he might be upset. And I understand that people are using your image and stuff without your permission, that might upset you. But from my point of view, it didn't come off in a disrespectful way.
Right.
Like it was done very nicely.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of brings up a whole.
And then at the very end, he thanked
everyone that was on the record.
He thanked everybody who was on the album, including them, and it was like done very classy.
They did forget Tech 9 though. I did notice that.
Well,
they totally forgot Tech 9 in that announcement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah. So then when we left the venue.
Well, one thing I wanted to say about that though is like the whole like using images without permission. That to me just kind of opens up a whole nother like debate because of the whole AI thing that's going on right now. Yeah. I mean, I would assume AI was used for that, but whatever, you know. I thought it was really cool, and the way I look at it is,
I'm
like
just saying I could see their side if they're upset about it.
Right, but
I don't think it was meant in a disrespectful way. It was meant for us, and we enjoyed it.
You also got paid to be on this album.
Yeah.
So they're playing your verse and using an image of you.
Yeah.
Like to me, fair game, right? Fair use. I don't know.
It was so when we left, they were handing out the singles then. So I don't know if you had it handy.
Oh, the singles. Hang on. I slid them down here already. Oh, good
Which I wanted to bring that up because that's one thing I really liked about this concert was I didn't have to keep track of a single the whole concert and worry about it getting smashed or broken in my pocket
right.
or holding on to it.
They gave them to you as you were leaving the venue, which I know they've done that in the past for Hallowicked. And, you know, that's something that I think should just always be done. Or, like I said, if you haven't watched my reaction for the Hallowicked single, they're scanning your tickets, give you the single right then and there, or as people are leaving. Would even be even better because you don't have to worry about keeping track of something, especially if you're going to be in the pit.
Yeah. So, is that wrapped up Fright Fest for you? I loved it. It was an amazing show. I really have no complaints.
It was absolutely a fucking amazing.
It was great.
Great venue. Like the next time that they're like, I hope they go back to St. Andrews because I would be there. You know what I mean? Like this is my hope going forward. Hold that thought.
Hold what thought?
Hold that. We'll bring that back up.
What am I holding? What am I holding?
What I just started to say. Just remind me. Hey, what was your thought earlier?
What were you trying to say? I'm sorry. What do I need to remember?
That going forward for Hallowicked and Fright Fest, my hopes.
Gotcha.
That's what I want you to bring back up. So then, obviously, you know, we went back to our So obviously, we got separated from the homies. Coma Black.
Because they bounced.
And Echo Safine. Like we went out of the venue.
Of course, mind you not, like we had trouble getting out of the venue because there were so many people behind us because we were so close to the front.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't get out. Like we tried, but there was just like too many people.
Yeah. But like they like disappeared, and I don't know if Echo Safine's still here, but Shanzi and Coma, they bounced because a couple blocks over, obviously the Monsters Ball was going on. So they went and they were able to catch like the end of that and the after party. So, but yeah, we ended up going back to our hotel.
I was a little nervous about that being so close to each other. Like, is there going to be issues? But I'm glad to hear that there wasn't and people were like respectful.
You see, last year, Scotty D, like when they announced the Bloody Sunday going to be the same night as Fright Fest, I remember like I had kind of like said, like, it sucks that people have to choose. And Scotty's like, I'm not choosing. He's like, I'll be at both.
Yeah.
Because, you know, his little scooter that he has, he rides around the gathering. He purposely took that with him. So when Fright Fest was over, he could zoom straight over to Bloody Sunday.
I mean, it worked.
It worked. He said he made it. So that's hella planning right there.
Oh, yeah. That football game, Anthony was talking about that. That was legit like a mess. And the parking was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We got to the parking garage for Fright Fest. And we're painted up like twisted, right?
Right.
Green. This security guy, which I'm just gonna say, I think he was high off his fucking ass.
Right.
He was like, "Hey, you guys are here for the Lions game?" And we're like, "No,
we're here for Fright Fest."
He's like, "What are you here for?" We're like, "We're here for Fright Fest." He's like, "Oh heck yeah, go Lions!" And I was like, "Do I look like I'm here for a Lions game?"
That shit was great. To me, it gave me the vibes of like he was somebody's grandpa. Who was just trying to be hip. He was just trying to be hip with the cool kids. Oh, yeah, party.
Yeah, it totally was.
Hell yeah. Juggalo to Speedy John with that $2 super chat says, whoop whoop, homies.
We tried your coffee creamer and Dr. Pepper. We tried it.
She still got some right here. That shit was delicious, man. I've never heard of that. When Megs told me that you suggested that, I was like, at first, I was kind of like, oh, but then I was like, oh, that actually might be good. So we did film it. That video will come out at some point on her channel. Mm-hmm. But that shit was delicious, man. Thank you for that. Because now I got to stock up on creamer. Because now she's going to drink my creamer for Dr. Pepper. And I'm going to use my creamer for coffee.
Whatever. So yeah, Fright Fest, it was like freezing, like waiting to get in. That was like crazy.
Yeah, it got cold fast. And I know it snowed.
And here's what I don't
during
understand.
Hallowicked.
Both Fright Fest and Hallowicked, they want you to go through a metal detector.
Yeah.
Both times, they were like, empty your pockets. So I do, and I have a metal cane, not plastic, a metal cane, and I'm going through it, and I was like went to like hand it to them, because usually they take my cane, I go through and then get back.
Yeah.
And she's like, go ahead. And I was like it's gonna go off. I go through it, it doesn't go off. That's concerning.
Yeah.
Why didn't it go off? And then at Hallowicked, they were like legit rude to me. She was like, "Put your hands by your waist," and I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm trying to hand it to you, like, because it's gonna go off. So I put my hands up and I go through it. It didn't go off, but it went off for DC. How does that make any sense?
Oh, that was Fright Fest. It went off at Fright Fest for me. Like, it went off. They had 2 sets. First one went off. So then I had to hand my keys, my wallet, and my phone, put them in a basket, walk through a separate set, so it didn't go off.
They legit let me walk through everything and nothing went off.
That's crazy.
Like,
I could have
had a fucking sword in that, and they wouldn't have known. I don't know, but Fright Fest was amazing. Unity Fest was a hit. Fright Fest was a hit. No complaints. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So I'm going to address it real quick because Anthony is asking about it. So on day 2, before we went to our second hotel, when we were doing all of our adventuring around in, what did I say that place was called? New Baltimore. We actually were searching for Faygo. We stopped at like 2 or 3 places looking for Faygo.
We did get candy apple Faygo, like... We got some plans for that. So.
Right. But we didn't find the new flavor. And come to find out, after everything was over, they were selling it at Hallowicked, which I'm super kind of stale about because I would have at least bought that while we were there to try it. But I've tried, there's a brand of pop called Frost Stop, and there's a job I used to work at that sold it, and it's an orange creamsicle. And I imagine it tastes just like that. And I, for years... was like, why has Faygo not come out with this flavor? So just so you guys know, when you drink that, I manifested it. Because I've been saying for years they need to come out with this flavor.
So we go to Hallowicked. And I just want to say I did film Green Book Tour live. I also filmed a vlog, which will have like ABK and Blaze in those clips and some hotel clips and stuff. That's going to be a separate video. Keep out for it. We filmed our merch pickup from Fright Fest. That is already live on my channel. So we went to Hallowicked. We went late because we knew the line was going to be crazy.
Right. And
it was an absolute fucking shit show. Apparently, they didn't open doors until like the set started.
Yeah. Well, so doors weren't open until 7.
We get there. We walk 2 blocks. Sorry, the dog's like licking. We walk 2 blocks around this monster like city block building, right? And we get down to the very end where there's like a new block's gonna start, and we're like, "Oh, this is the end." And then these people start yelling.
Yeah, there's like a break on the line,
and there's a crossing guard, and he's like, "You gotta cross here, and then you cross and go on that block, and then you go. The line goes all the way down that block." And I was like, "Fuck." That.
Yeah, he's like, the end of the line is Downcast, which was the street.
It's way too cold to be out there for 4 hours. So we walked back to our car and basically just sat for like an hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I'm kind of glad that we did because I didn't want to get sick.
We showed up at Hallowicked. We showed up at the Masonic Temple about 6:30. The doors open. We got in line hoping it would. The line looked like it was moving fast, but when we realized the line was like 2.5 city blocks, we went and waited in the car.
Not like residential blocks.
Like
city blocks.
So it was a little after 8 before we got into the venue because we literally waited until we saw the end of the line.
So when we got in too, it was such a hot mess. Like there was no direction for where merch was. It was more like we're just kind of asking people, is this the merch line? Is this the merch? Like nobody knew anything. We finally find what we think the merch line is. People are cutting. It's fucking madness. We're waiting in there forever. We go from this hallway to this little room. And then we go to this another room that has a staircase. And it was like, is this the merch room? And like, no, it's upstairs. 3 flights. And the stairs were full of people. Like there was no, like the line was so massive. And I was just like, oh my God. We heard Ouija mat go on. And I knew, I was like, we're not going to make it in time and get seats.
I think that was Wacko the Kid that was on that we heard.
We missed Lardy B.
Yeah.
And we missed Wacko.
Well, Darby Trio will open first. That was in the car.
Yeah.
Lardy B was when we were still in the car. And then when we were in the merch line, it was Wacko. I think it's Wacko the Kid or Waco, whatever his name is. You looked at me and you're like, this ain't worth it. Let's just go find our seats while we still can. So we head up. If you don't, we were on the balcony.
Okay. Well, I thought it was Ouija mat. So that made me nervous because I knew that like it was going to be Esham and then ICP. So I was like nervous that like we were not going to get good seats. I knew I wanted to live stream it, so I wanted to get a seat that I could live stream from and not have like a 6 foot tall guy in front of me.
Right.
So that was my like main concern. And I'm so glad that we did, because we got to our seats and the couple that was in front of us went to go get merch, and they missed like everything. They missed Ouija Mac. They missed the whole Esham set.
Yeah. So I think they stayed for Ouija. They left after Ouija. They missed all of Mercules. They missed all of Esham and then came back. And Esham and Mercules both were on for 40-minute sets. So that they were in that line for over an hour. He came back. Like, I remember the guy came back. I was like, you just missed a shit show.
Yeah.
He sat down a few minutes went by. He's like, what shit show? I was like, Esham was drunk, man.
So on my Hallowicked blog that I did get Ouija Mac, some of his set, and Esham's set, and then some hotel clips, and just some shenanigans about in our costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did live stream ICP's Hallowicked set in its entirety, including the Faygo Armageddon, and a little bit after. I always like to get a little bit after when the lights come on,
right,
so that people can see the venue and get a good grasp of what it looks like.
Yeah.
We did not film our pickup haul yet because we did not get merch.
Yeah, because we said fuck the line. Basically.
We did get some stuff from Hallowicked. People gave us stuff.
Right.
Like 3 or 4 different things.
Oh yeah.
Don't show them yet.
Yep. Okay.
And that will be in our pickup video. But we're watching Psychopathic Vault.
Yeah.
For like a Hallowicked tour shirt. There's 2 shirts that I really wanted. I've already seen like what the merch booth looked like from somebody else's phone.
Yeah, shout out to Heartbreaker, by the way. He was the one that he was in for the pre-party, and I said, hey, have you gotten the merch yet? He's like, no, but I have pictures. I was like, sweet. And he sent them to me. That's how we were able to know, like, there wasn't, for me, I'm speaking for myself here. There was stuff there. There was stuff there. I was like, I don't really need it. So I was okay not getting merch.
Well, there's 2 that I really have my eye on. So I'm watching for that. So I'm hoping that one of them will show up and we can get that. And then we can do like our pickup haul for that.
Yeah.
So.
Right on.
I did want to, Anthony said that he watched my comparison video of songs that say Sam Hain, sorry. And he thought that I did a good job. And I just wanted to say, like, thank you for saying that, because I was a little bit nervous about it.
That's your first time doing a comparison video, right?
It was my first time doing a comparison video. And then, like, before it went live, like, I had him watch it to see what he thought. He said, like, that he thought I should have done it, like, over the shoulder on a table, not me holding it, and that like psyched me out.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to psych you out.
That like maybe it wasn't going to be good, or like people weren't going to like it, and it like psyched me out that I didn't do a good job.
No, it was. I told you it was good. I just said for future reference, maybe.
That. All I remember you saying is like, for future reference, I would do it this way.
Yeah.
And I was like, did I fuck up? Like, are people not going to like it because they can't see it as well, or I'm in it, or whatever? I don't know.
No, that's just the way I've always preferred to do it. So that was just my own, like, this is how I do it. That was just me doing that.
I think
it was great.
It psyched me out because I've never done a comparison video, and I didn't want to miss anything. So it's like nervous filming it. Right. But like, thank you for saying that. Like, that means a lot to me.
No, you did a great job. Like, you did an amazing job.
Yeah. Well, the album was amazing.
Shit, Speak Your Cloud podcast is in the high.
I really, really liked that Fight Night single. I really did. Like, I got really Shaggy 2 Dope solo album vibes off of it. Like, I was feeling it. Like, like fuck the fuck off vibes. That's what I was getting from that.
Fight, Jeanette. Fight, Jeanette. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have not done the Hallowicked pickups yet, but we plan to. If for some reason we can't get a shirt, or they don't ever upload them to Psychopathic Vault, we'll go ahead and just do a pickup of what we did get. Yeah. I think that would be enough to make its own video, but I just want to wait and see if we get shirts first.
For sure.
They do have hoodies and jerseys posted on Psychopathic Vault. Trust me, your girl's been checking like every 30 minutes, but no shirts yet. So I can't see them being sold out of every single shirt. That seems kind of cray-cray to me.
Yeah, I think they're slowly going through their inventory, finding what they got, what sizes, and then posting them up. Oh shit, the Replicon is watching!
He's watching us!
You guys fucked up not being at Hallowicked and Fright Fest, man. You guys missed great shows. They usually go to a lot of shows. I forget why they said they couldn't make it this time, though. But yeah. And on that note, we do have something, and I do want to show it because I want to give another shout out to Coma Black, the homie. We originally did not get a single. When we got there, we asked where they were giving them out. The way they did it this year, so if you've never been to the Masonic Temple, there's sections. So it's kind of like a stadium in a way. You have a main floor and then you have balconies. So you go up the stairs. Once you go through the doors to get to where the seating areas are, that's where they were handing them out, multiple places. So apparently they ran out super quick. That word was as we were entering, we were hearing the rumors that they were out of singles. And I'm like, they fucking better not be.
But then there's people that got 4 to 10 of them and they're selling them on eBay for $300-400.
Which is fucked up.
Which seriously, and this is probably super toxic. But you guys need to put these people on blast. How fucked up is it to fuck a juggalo, multiple juggalos, out of getting the single, and then sell it for a crazy amount, and then fuck that person out?
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
It's one thing if maybe you let's say for instance we both got one and we decided to sell them on eBay. Okay, but to get multiple. Know what you're doing. Know that you're gonna fuck another juggalo out of it, and you do it anyway. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And I think if you guys see that shit on eBay, you need to fucking put them on blast. You message them, report that shit, whatever you want to do. Don't buy from them.
You go find one of their other items that isn't $400, and you buy it from them. So you get their address, and then you mail them a bag of poop. That's what you do. You mail them a bag of poop with a note that says, "This is for being a shitty juggalo." Send that shit to them, literally. But I want to, Echoes Ifine said, share how lucky I was to get my copy of a Hallowicked single. If you remember how I got it, I'm going to butcher it. He was wearing his...
It was a wrestling shirt.
Yeah, it was, I think, a Bullet Club jacket that he had on. And somebody else saw it. He's like, "Oh, a wrestling fan. Here you go."
Yeah.
I probably just butchered that. So I think that's the general idea. Somebody recognized... what he was
really
wearing,
one,
yeah. And then they gave him a copy because he didn't get. They were like, "Oh, did you get your single?" And he's like, "No, I didn't. Here you go." So that was really cool. But how we got our single was the homie Coma Black. They were on the balcony as well. He walked up. He's like, "Hey, did you guys get your single?" We said no. They ran out, and he straight up just held it out. And I was like, "Are you sure, man?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And then even after, when we were leaving the venue, he was asking.
I kept telling him no. I was like, "I don't want to take it from you." He's like, "No, take it." I'm like, "I don't want to take it from you." I felt so bad. But
oh, it was a security guard. Fuck me, man. So,
Lordgasm says that he's gonna steal it off of YouTube when someone uploads it. It's uploaded, baby. I uploaded it. Go listen to it if you haven't already.
Yeah, she's got the audio playing, but also you can head to Faygo Lovers too. They have a download for it. They do that every year. Faygo Lovers are the shit. But yeah, so Coma Black, straight up, he's like, "Yo, just take it." I was like, "What do I owe you for it?" He's like, "Do a review." I don't really review singles, so I did a reaction for it, which in the past I've thought about doing reactions for ICP stuff, but 90% of the time I like it, so I just never really done reactions for ICP stuff. So that's actually kind of a first. If you don't count the stuff that Jay did with what was that band? I don't remember that band.
So real quick, Anthony said that some of the leftover merch goes to Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
What is that?
So Rock of Ages, that's that place I've told you a few times that we should go to. Shanzi has said we need to go there. It's kind of like FYE, kind of like our local record store. It's kind of like that. It's a record store, but they're clown love friendly.
I just assumed that it went on Psychopathic Vault. That was their leftover.
It does. But Rock of Ages probably buys some of it from them. Rock of Ages is a really cool place to go to. They have legit some cool merch there.
Well, I'll check them out then.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people got gypped out of, is that the right word?
Gypped.
Fucked out of.
Fucked. Assed
fucked
out.
Out of the single, which is fucked up. Like, you guys could have gave them out when people showed their tickets. You could have handed them out when people left. No re-entry. Like, I just don't get, like, there's options. Why are we not trying other options? You know juggalos are getting fucked out of singles.
Yeah.
Like, why? You know it's important to people who collect. Like, why not fix this?
Right.
I don't get it.
You know what they could even do? The merch booth. You got to go to the merch booth to get it. You show the ticket. They keep a list of everyone's names that bought tickets. They scratch your name off as soon as you get your ticket.
Nah, that's too much. The merch line's too long, and they don't have enough people working it as it is.
Yeah, man.
But your idea of you get it when you cash your seat, your idea of getting it when you get your ticket, like when you turn it in or whatever, that's a great idea. Or hand it when people are leaving.
Yeah. Echo Siphene said that's how they did it last year. Like, as soon as you gave them your ticket, they gave you a single. That's perfect right there. Like, that's how it needs to be.
No, I like it when you leave, but that's just me.
Well, yeah.
You said it was perfect.
It is, but how do you prevent people from getting multiple copies and people missing out?
There's no re-entry. As they're leaving, here's your CD, here's your single, here's your single. Keep the line moving, keep going. Nope, no re-entry, keep going. They kick you out. Like, every time, like when we were leaving that venue, there was like security at every door.
Anthony says they honestly don't press enough. That's why they're worth so. Probably, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably.
But the venue itself was beautiful. I did get this very, like, mysterious. Like, they had security everywhere. Like, you weren't going to be able to wander off even if you wanted to. Like, they had that shit locked down.
This is tripping me out. Maybe it's the two hard lemonades, but there's two Anthonys in here, and I was like, Anthony LeBron, why does his there is. I was like, why does his avatar look different? And I realized it's someone else. But Anthony LeBron says, Bite Night is a good Hallowicked single, not the best, but it's good. I like it because it was like a return to a Halloween-themed song. They haven't done that in a while. But then he was saying, I was thinking on both DCFAYGOGUY and Meg's, what is your top 10 most favorite Insane Clown Posse Halloween singles?
Ooh,
I legit last year.
We should do a video where we rank them in order.
I legit last year made a note on my phone. I still have it of my 10 favorite Halloween songs, and I never did the video. So I have that list already.
Halloween songs or like ICP Hallowicked songs?
I did Halloween just because.
So is there non-ICP, non-Juggalo artists?
There's Juggalo artists. I don't think I did an actual like.
Is there non-Juggalo artists on this list? There's just all like Juggalo artists top 10. It's
Juggalo because there's twisted ones on there too. But yeah. April says hi. The girl that was with me.
Where's April? You didn't bring April.
Yeah, what the hell, man? We liked April.
Bring April next time. I really liked her. I got like good vibes from her. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to think that I'm really good at like reading people.
Yeah, you are. You really.
I'm gonna bring up the pedophile that you used to work with. Because like this is like one of those moments where it's like I knew it, you know what I mean? So he like worked with this guy, and the first time I met him, I was like, I don't like him. I just got like this feeling, you know, in your gut, and usually that feeling's right. Like I'm not trying to brag, I'm just saying. Like usually I can read people really good, and you're like, nah, he's cool, he's a good guy. And like not even 2 weeks later, he went to jail for like molesting his stepdaughter or whatever, and I was like, fucking knew it. That guy, like, you just give vibes, you know what I mean?
I know, and I was all like, yeah, no, Brian's cool. He's cool. And then that came out, and I'm like, well, remember what I said? Well, he was always nice to me. I just didn't know he was extra nice to his stepdaughter. That's fucked up.
Bro, that was too far.
Not nice. He was, like, fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, poor choice of words. I apologize. Juggalo's Beady John with another super chat says, I have to unpack. Catch you guys later. Much clown love. Glad you had a good time. If I remember correctly, I think he said he went to Universal Studios with his family.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How was it?
While we were at Hallowicked, that's where he was.
Did you film anything? I've never been, so I'm really like, I watch videos on YouTube of people going. So
Anthony Purcell says it's a real Masonic temple, the largest in the United States. FYI, that place was fucking massive.
Bro.
We were blocks away, and I was like looking, and I saw the flagpole. I was like, "That's it."
It was like over 2,000 rooms, right? And we did like this because Echo Siphene said it was haunted, so I had to go do my research before we went. And then like they do give tours, which we need to go on a private tour next time we're up in Michigan.
Yeah, she did find out they do tours. So XFE, and we're going to go to.
They do tours and they do private tours.
Oh.
So we got like a group of juggalos together. That would be kind of cool. I'm just saying. Make a day of it.
Yeah. Replicon Radio says, "How about that new Lotus track on Songs of Sam Hain? I mean D4L track." For real, legit, like, and if you haven't watched the video, last week I did a What's Happening Now talking about that, and I actually ruffled feathers. So many feathers, like my own brother reached out to me upset about it. I like it. I'm okay with them doing, I'm okay with them doing more of that, but I don't want them to call it Dark Lotus. I want them to come up with another name for it. That way it's a spin-off of it. That way, you know, Dark Lotus can stay pure and stay, preserved as it was. Just have this spin-off of it. I think they should call themselves the Four Petals. I've seen somebody else say just the Petals. I'm okay with that too. But if they're going to do that, I think they should call it something different. That way it's not directly connected, but it references it. But absolutely Black Rain vibes. Fritz killed that beat. Yeah. I felt Dark Lotus magic with that track. And that's why I'm okay with them doing more, because like legit, that's been my standout track on that song, on that album, is because it just is good to me. It felt good to feel that again. Like, obviously I would rather ICP be part of it, but if they're not going to be, like, this is good enough for me. Like, I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it. But I do think they should call it something different. The Mars White Lotus. Yeah.
I think that's a good point to make too. Like, kind of jumping off of what you said in your other video when you reviewed it or reacted to it. Like, everybody can have their own opinion.
Right.
And it can be different from each other, and we can still love and respect each other.
Right.
You know, we can disagree in a respectful way.
Yeah. And that's the other thing I said too.
There's nothing better than being able to have a good debate with somebody who respects you. And we were just talking about this recently. Where we used to work, there was this girl. Her name was Faith. And she was literally like the exact opposite of me in every single way. Religiously, politically, her lifestyle, like literally everything about this woman, other than us both being women, like was opposite.
Right.
But that being said, like I had told Kenny, I told DC that one thing I had missed about working with her was, even though like we weren't friends and like we wouldn't hang out of work, we could always have like these really good debates, even over stuff like abortion and like presidential stuff, like really like sensitive topics. Yeah. Like, even though we were on opposite poles, we always had like good conversations, and I miss that about her. Yeah. Where like we could talk to each other and I didn't feel like I was being judged, and she never treated me differently, and she always treated me good. Right. Even though she knew that I thought everything she believed in was absolute bullshit. Because she's one of those that I don't want to offend anybody. She believes that like dinosaurs aren't real. Yeah. That God put the bones here just to like test us. Like literally we're opposite on I love dinosaurs, okay? But like we would have such good debates and conversations, and I miss that about her. And I think that that's such a unique characteristic. When you find somebody like that, you need to treasure them.
Right. Because
they are hard to come by. And that's one thing I miss about her is just, Yeah. When you find somebody like that, you should treasure them. And I think that we should all inspire to be more like that. I think it's so natural to be judgmental, and it's so natural to think like, oh my God, I cannot believe you believe that way. Yeah. But when we react like that, it makes the other person not feel good. Right. So I think like it's good to inspire to better yourself every single conversation, like every single time. I'm gonna try to have a better poker face. I'm gonna try to be more sensitive. I'm gonna try to be more empathetic. Like, I think it's really good. Yeah.
Well, see, that's why I like the guys at Deck Out, because there's things that they say, there's things that they think differently than me, but like we have different opinions on things, and we can still like be good friends. You know what I mean? But
like sure. Those, and we all have work that we can do,
right?
And we're all learning, and like I mean, you remember being a teenager and like thinking back about some of the shit that you've said and done and are like legit embarrassed about it? That's going to be you in 10 years from now. We all have growth to do. I'm still growing. I'm still maturing. You know?
Yeah.
And so like just love each other and don't like I see it in Discord. I see it on YouTube comments. Like, can we just be civil to each other?
I wish, but you got to be the better in the world we want to see, and I guess a lot of people don't.
So be the better one.
I think there's a lot of people that just don't want it to be better. They just want to bleed it out, I guess. But Joe Lotus PD John said it was dope. Me and the wife went to Horror Nights on Halloween and went and did the VIP day pass on the 30th. Went to Super Mario World. That's the shit. That's a place I want to go.
I've seen videos of Super Mario World. It looks pretty cool. Apparently, like, if you see Toad, it's, like, really rare or something. That's what they were saying online.
Oh, yeah. And the Harry Potter Hogwarts Ward.
Nice.
And then he said, Los Angeles traffic is terrible, not for me. There are 3 cities in the United States that I will never drive in. Los Angeles is one of them. New York City is another one. And Chicago is another one. I will never drive in any of those cities. I don't mind driving in Detroit. I didn't mind it at all. But I refuse to even try those other 3.
What about Atlanta?
Maybe. I've ridden through it.
Yeah, it was a fucking nightmare.
It seems comparable to Detroit to me.
It's worse riding, though, because, like, you don't know their reaction
That's
and, like,
true.
how they're going to handle.
That's true. Replicard Radio said, hey, I say straw. Your turn.
So does this conclude your Hallowicked review? Is there anything that, other than the merch and the CD and the doors opening late and all that, is there anything else you'd like to add that you think they could have improved on? I mean, the venue was beautiful.
Beautiful venue.
But it just seemed like it was very sloppy. Like, there's a lot of things that could have been improved on.
I definitely think if they're going to be at the Masonic again, they need to have it be at the doors where they hand out the singles, not the entries. The
pay-per-view. We got to talk about the pay-per-view, okay?
Oh, the quality of it and shit?
Why is it that my iPhone, my little old iPhone from the balcony, had better quality than the pay-per-view?
I heard the audio was horrible on the pay-per-view.
I watched it.
That's awful.
I watched the pay-per-view, and I watched my vlog, and then there's another guy who, my live stream, sorry. There's another guy that didn't live stream it, but he recorded it and then uploaded it later, and his was better. But it was better visuals. He was like up close to the camera, and his was crystal like clear compared to the pay-per-view. I would be so fucking pissed if I paid for that pay-per-view and it is worse quality than something I can go get on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I was
that my phone that had one bar and we were having trouble getting signal in there was transmitting a live stream with better quality than pay-per-view.
So I think the way the camera definitely was struggling with the lights, and in the past I've had that with my camera.
Yeah,
like, I've been using my phone now.
Yeah, this is the first time we're ever gonna do a pay-per-view. Ever. This is fucking huge for ICP.
Oh, they've done it before.
But why would you not cut the fog machine for the sake of the pay-per-view?
Yeah. But
you know what I mean?
It seemed to me like this pay-per-view, because I didn't watch like the exact one to know, but from what I could gather from watching the few different peoples that did like streams of it, to me it sounded like the way that it was worked is their microphones fed audio to the pay-per-view, and then they had the background music as well. So it almost made it sound like almost like you were in a fish tank, if that makes sense. Or it sounded like almost like a microphone recording something. To me it seemed like it was a little off.
It kind of sucked because like a lot of people were watching this pay-per-view and this was a big deal.
Right.
It just sucks that it didn't turn out as good as they probably had hoped it would. And we gotta like talk about Isham's set, okay?
So, full disclosure, I did not know the details of what was going on. To me, the second I noticed he was stumbling, I was like, he's fucking drunk. So I was laughing at his performance. Laughing at it. Like, I think there should be some clips re-recorded. You probably hear me laughing in them.
Yeah. So
I didn't realize that like he had lost a family member.
Not on my live stream, but on my Hallowicked vlog, there are some clips that DC got of the performance.
And can you hear me laughing?
Oh no, I think I got them.
I know I took one on my phone.
I think I might have used one of your clips too.
At the end where he was like on the stage, like, I love you guys, I'm sorry. I was like laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, at this point, I was like, I have to get a clip of this.
So here's my issue, and I've already told DC this. Regardless if it was fake or real, okay? Like, let's say, we'll just put that out there. Regardless if it was all staged, if he got drunk on purpose, whatever, or if he, like, legit, like, was going through a lot. Put that aside, okay? My issue is that nobody came out there to save him.
Yeah.
Not one fucking person came out there. That is what I have the issue with.
Yeah, they didn't come out and say, hey, like, he's going through a lot. We're going to go ahead and cut his set off. Or, like, turn the lights off.
Yeah, it's not even so much like if, like, Jay and Shaggy are back getting ready for their show or whatever. I get that, okay? I get it.
They're stagehands.
But you're telling me that not one person, these people tour together. Like, the people who set up the sound and the audio and the stage, and, like, these are people who know Isham.
Yeah.
Nobody came out to help him. Nobody went and got Jay and Shaggy. Nothing. Ouija Mac, Lardy B, they didn't come out and, like, do a couple more songs and get him off the stage. And, okay, yeah, we would have had to wait longer for ICB, but maybe they could have, like, entertained us with a couple more songs.
Right.
To, like, not one person. That is the part that bothers me more than anything.
Yeah. That they let him, like, go through that.
And no one came. And I just kept waiting the whole time. Like,
when
he fell over, I'm like, okay, someone's going to come. No. He gets back up. He falls down again. Okay, surely someone's going to come. No.
There was one point he walked off stage, like, in the middle. And I was like, is he, like, done? But the band kept playing. And I'm like, maybe not. And then he comes back out. And I'm like, oh, they're okay. They're going to keep going. Like, I don't know. I agree with you. Like,
that's the part that bothers me the most.
It should have been handled differently. Like, and you can tell when you go back and watch it now, like, there was a long pause before he came out.
Yes.
Why at that point, when they knew he wasn't in any condition to go out there, did Jump Steady or whomever just be like, yo, you shouldn't go out there. And then go out there and say, hey, Isham's going through some shit right now. Yes. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to perform. We're so sorry that you guys are not going to get to see him. Like, that, to me, I would have been like, way more understanding of it than it happening the way it did.
Well, and we kind of talked to you about, like, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying, like, some of the other options, you know. And I know that Jay had his Hallowicked performance to come on, so he probably didn't want to go out there. But, like, Jay or Ouija Mac, like, they know Three-Headed Monster songs. They could have came out and carried the weight of them together.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously Isham wouldn't been really, like, singing along because he wasn't really singing anyways. He was just, like, muffling. But they could have come out and done something like that, too. Like, there's just so many options. I liked what you said, too, of just, like, coming out and being like, hey, he's just going through a lot, but can't, you know.
Yeah. Because we heard Isham say that, but nobody else came out and, like, try to cover for him. Real quick, shout out to Juggalo Speedy John with that $2 super chat. Don't forget to hit the like button. It's free. That is right. Hit the like button. Or if you don't like me, you can hit the dislike too. It don't faze me either way, but hit the like button. If you like what we're talking about, if you like what we're chopping up.
Yeah, I don't know. It was.
It didn't set right with me.
It wasn't even like, it was so bad. Like, he wasn't even singing lyrics. Like, growling, it was so past the point of, like, an act. Yeah. Where it was like, it was not enjoyable. Like, we couldn't even enjoy the show. Like, even if you knew the lyrics song by song, it was like, okay, bro, get off. Like, somebody get this guy off. Like, it.
Well, I honestly, I found entertainment in it, but that's because I was laughing at it. Like, this bro is fucked up.
I was not entertained. I was just annoyed. It was like
I literally I refer to it as the shit show. Like, I was like, what is this shit show? Like, and I just laughed at it. Like, I didn't find it, like, I wasn't like, oh, this was a great set, but it was definitely, like, entertaining. Like, I can't believe I'm witnessing this.
Well, the Warlock says instead of apologizing over and over, he should have just left the stage. And that was the thing. Like, I was so sick of just, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going through a lot. Like, okay, get him off the stage.
Yeah.
Like, somebody come get this guy. Like,
right. And the
he needs to, like, you need to hydrate him, take him to the hospital, get him to lay down in the back, something. Like, you just left him. And, like, he got tangled up in the wires for the drums. Like, he could have got hurt.
There was one part where he
could have
kneeled
fell
down
off the stage, dude.
I remember the one part he kneeled down and he was like crying. You could hear him crying. He's like, I'm sorry, it's fucked up, man. Like, you can hear the genuine like hurt in his voice. I half expected them to end it there. The band starts playing and he gets up and goes again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, dude, this is crazy.
I kind of get the vibe, and I don't want to assume, but I kind of got the vibe that, like, the drummer and the one guitar, like, they've been through this shit with him before. Like, when the drummer came out, I got the vibe that he was just, like, irritated. Like, the way he just, like, sat down. He took his sweet time. He just seemed, like, annoyed. He was kind of, like, sitting there like this, you know. And Ishan was late coming out. And, like, props to those three guys. They didn't stop playing. They didn't miss a fucking beat that whole thing. Yeah. But at the end of the show, the one guitarist and the drummer just, like, bounced. They just, like, fuck this. And then one guitarist, like, he, like, waved at everybody and tried to, like, interact with the audience.
Yeah, crowd work, yeah.
And Ishan, when he had, like, one of the times he had fallen over, his phone fell out of his pocket, and I noticed it. And when they all left the stage, the guitarist grabbed his phone for him and walked off. And I was like, it was just so sad. It was like, why did it get to that point and nobody stepped in? Yeah. So,
it was very unfortunate for sure.
I keep getting ads on your live stream, and I've never had that before.
I did too. Well, so when it asked me about when I monetized it, asked something about something. I didn't realize it was going to do it while we were live. So now I know future reference. I apologize for all the interrupted ads.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
That's crazy.
So wrapping things up, if you're done with Hallowicked, obviously ITP set was amazing.
Of course, as always. I was about 50% sure they were going to reveal the next Joker's card.
I thought so too.
Just because there's all this hype now about the 6th. You know, Jay says they're going to record in November and December. And it's going to come out by Juggalo Day. There's no way in hell it's coming out in February. They didn't even reveal it yet, so there's no way. If they reveal it at Ballas, the chance goes up a little bit, but there's no way in hell it's coming out.
I guess I just expected, because it's kind of like a tradition for them to do that at Hallowicked. If they had, if they're gonna start recording soon, right? Because Shaggy's on tour right now again.
Yeah.
They must have most of the songs written. They must have a concept in mind. They must have some imagery. So I guess I just assumed that they would probably release the artwork, but I was really shocked that they didn't.
Yeah. The thing about, so Warlock said, I'm expecting a Juggalo Day reveal. The thing is, the only reason I'm holding on to Hallowicked, and I know I originally had said maybe they would reveal it at the gathering, and the only reason I said that was because the first 6th was revealed at the gathering. But the reason I would have thought that this one would be either the gathering or Hallowicked is because of the 6th. But every other Joker card in the second hand or the second deck has been revealed at Hallowicked, minus Bang Pow Boom. So I was like, I went in like 50-50. If Jay is talking about the 6th and Jay is saying it's coming out at this point, like, this was their chance to reveal it and they didn't do it. So maybe they could reveal it at Juggalo Day, but I feel like the pattern shows they've been doing it at Hallowicked. And I know Jay is notorious for preemptively announcing things. And I feel like that's what's happening now. He's preemptively announcing the 6th. But we haven't even got the reveal yet. There's no way it's coming out.
I thought you went and got me a second one so I could have one.
I sure did.
Bro, what the hell? You didn't even offer it to me?
I left you some, and then I filled my drink back up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So yeah, overall, Hallowicked was... I don't want to say that not getting a single and not getting merch ruined my experience,
Yeah. We got one. We can share this.
That's because we have an amazing friend.
Yes.
That's the only
Coma
reason.
is amazing.
You know, obviously, like I was there for the concert, so that was, you know, but it did kind of ruin a little bit of the magic.
Yeah.
But I loved, like, that was the first time seeing, like, ICP from a balcony. That was really interesting.
I loved it.
And I enjoyed the show. They did such a good job. Like, it looked like it had been practiced. I think I got on my live stream, too. There was a point where, like, Ryland J grabbed Shaggy's ass. He didn't even flinch.
Yeah, I think it was during Ned in game when he did that. He like walked up when it was Shaggy's turn, and he does his usual like dousing himself, and I think that's when Jay went up and grabbed his ass. Yeah. But yeah, from the balcony, I enjoyed it a lot because you got to fully see the set. There was no one in front of you. You got a great aerial view.
Well, there's a lot of people in front of you, but yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. But like, you could see the set. You could see them. There was no obstructions of view. I really love being on the balcony. Like, if they have it at the Masonic Temple, I'm going to be on the balcony.
Yeah.
Probably, hopefully closer, but on the balcony nonetheless.
So we only really have 2 things left on the itinerary, and that is a GoFundMe idea that we wanted to run by you guys, and a new series that we wanted to run by you guys.
Real quick, before we move on, Ivy Killa said, I heard after he got the news, he started drinking and was drunk at 5:30 or something, so it was both sadness and alcohol. I mean, he was lit.
He was wasted, dude.
And then Ivy Killa also asked, did y'all like Mercules? Not bad. I've known of Mercules before from when he worked with Jelly Roll. But yeah, I'm interested for sure. I think he did great at the show.
I think he was a little bit stage nervous, but he did a good job.
Yeah. All right. And then Samuel Delano says, thank you, Megs, for the stream. You helped a broke ninja majorly.
You're
said, love you,
more
DC
than welcome.
bro.
That's why I did it. It's for all the people who couldn't or didn't want to pay for the pay-per-view. Yeah. And also so I could go back and watch it and relive it.
Yeah, for sure.
Which kind of, as I move on then?
Go for it. Move on.
So the GoFundMe idea that we've had this for a while, and we really like conflicted on even bringing it up to you guys. But I wanted to bring it up like in a live stream setting. That way we can get your feedback like live.
Right.
So financially speaking, we're just not going to be able to do everything. It's just not possible. We had this idea, for instance, Tom Wood's float. There is like no footage on YouTube of Tom Wood's float. And I'm someone who loves to go watch that stuff. Like I go by and I watch past gatherings I haven't been to. I watch gathering videos I've been to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so we were thinking about sitting down and figuring out, okay, we've been wanting to go Tom's Wood float for like 3 years now. Mm-hmm. Coming up with how much gas it would cost, tickets,
potentially
hotel fees, stuff like that. Come up with a total and start a GoFundMe page with the intent of, I don't know how to word this.
That we will be going
if you
to
donate, if you donate to this GoFundMe, we would supply X amount of videos from this event. So, like, let's just say we did a GoFundMe for like 2,000 or 1,000 or something like that, right? It would be with the intent of, if we go, we're going to give you, 3 live streams, like 1 per night, a 4th video of like a walkthrough or walk around the whole camp, maybe a vlog, a pickup video. Like, it would be like, we would make it would be like work, basically. We would be going, right. We would provide the entertainment for you if you could help support like the funding for it.
Right.
And it would not be like, you would not get 1 video. Like, we would want to make it worth people's while.
Yeah. Well, and another way too, like if you can't help out, another thing you could do is go to Megs' channel and subscribe. Because once she hits 1,000, then she can get monetization for the videos that she does put out, which will also help pay for things like that.
Because right now I'm not getting paid for any videos I make. Like, I'm just doing it purely for passion, love, and sharing this with everybody else. They can't go themselves, whether
Which
it be
would always be that.
they don't have a
yeah.
reliable vehicle, they don't have a ride, they can't get off work, they got kids, whatever the reason being, that's why we do what we do.
Right.
Because I was once that person who couldn't go to shows. So I want to be that for other people.
Right.
But we can't afford to go to all of them. So we just kind of wanted to run it by you guys. What do you think if we were to do, just for example, one GoFundMe thing for like Tom Wood's float, or another exclusive event like that, where there's not like Hallowicked, I wouldn't do it because there's so many people filming Hallowicked.
Yeah.
Like what I can't offer you something that's like exclusive, but like Tom Wood's float, nobody vlogs it, no one live streams it. Like there's nothing on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that would be something exclusive. Or you said Alozul.
There's footage of Camp Zool.
Camp Zool.
Yeah.
Something like that we could do where it would go into it with like, it would clearly state all the expenses and like how we came up with the total. And then it would show like our goal and like our game plan of like, we want to get 10 videos out of this trip or whatever. And obviously live streams and concerts and stuff. Is that something that you guys think would be a good idea? Or you think like, no, like I don't see people donating. Like, what do you guys think?
See, I'm weird about asking for money. That's why I've never done it. I've had somebody tell me before that I should do a GoFundMe to go VIP, and I'm like, to me, it just feels weird to ask for money. I've always been weird about that, though. We've
been sitting on this idea for a long time, and like we just didn't want to ask for money. But like Tom Wood, like something like that, like his float is something that like you can't find on YouTube. So it would be like a trade-off or whatever. Like you could donate $2, you could donate $5, it don't matter. But if we get enough to go, then in return we would provide this entertainment for you. And it would be like structured, like we would have a list, like we're gonna do 5 live streams, 5 videos, blah blah blah.
Lord guys have said you could do more levels on channel memberships to help raise extra money.
I can't on my channel because I don't have enough subscribers. I don't get any payment at all from my channel whatsoever. I don't even qualify yet.
Yeah, you have to hit 1,000 before you can monetize.
Well,
so
it's not only that.
If you're not subscribed, subscribe.
It's 1,000 subscribers and so many views.
I think you've hit the views. You're just waiting on the subscribers now.
I have to check. I haven't checked for a while.
But
yeah, I mean, if I had a membership, then that's maybe something I could do. But I don't know how they tax that and stuff. But we also like are trying to budget tighter, and like this last trip just literally emptied our savings. Like Hallowicked or the gathering just took every bit we had, and then after the gathering, I had car trouble that was like almost $2,000. And that completely emptied out my emergency savings. I don't have anything left. And like we really, really shouldn't have went to Hallowicked.
Well, see,
but we did, and then we had unexpected expenses like the valet and stuff. So we are just like spent. You know what I mean?
See, and part of that too was we were prepping for Hallowicked right after the gathering. Like we didn't even recover from the gathering, and we were already buying tickets and booking hotels for Hallowicked because they announced it so quick. And they pretty much have done the same thing now for Ballas. Like literally as Hallowicked was going on, they were announcing Ballas.
Yeah. So the other thing is like, if I do like a GoFundMe for Tom Wood's float, right? If we don't reach our goal, I think it should be stated that money goes for like a giveaway or something then.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So like, let's like whatever we set the goal for, if we don't reach it, not like if we get close to it, we'll just, I mean, obviously we'll be putting money in our own pocket. We'll have to buy groceries and all kinds of stuff and unexpected things. Like if your tire blows or something on the way there, we usually go get like little maintenance done before we go on a trip like that anyways. If we don't get anywhere near close to the goal, we can't afford to go, then I think that money should go towards a giveaway.
Yeah, for sure.
So that would be something else that we would need to list in the GoFundMe like thing. And like, but I've never done a GoFundMe, so I would need to do my research. Like, is it taxed? Like, how do you get that money? Like,
Lorgasm said a good thing, or save it for the next event.
Yeah.
Which, and honestly, I've ever since I heard he did this, I was like, man, I wonder if I will ever reach that point. But I remember CPN one time saying that, I think it was 2018, that he went to every major ICP event, Juggalo Day, The Gathering, Hallowicked, and Ballas, all on the money he earned from YouTube. Granted, the type of videos he makes or made is not the kind that I make. They don't make money like that. Because that's not the kind of shit I want to talk about. That, that's just not for me. I didn't care for it, and that's why I stopped doing it.
Well, and see,
but he was able to pay for all his events.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But because my videos aren't monetized, even when I film at this event, I'm not getting paid for.
Yeah.
So the GoFundMe would strictly be just to get us there.
Right.
And it would be like a job. Like, we would be providing the service, but we would also get enjoyment of being able to go.
Coma says, I think GoFundMe takes a percentage of the money and it's taxed. Yeah, there's no straightforward way to do it.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know what would be best. Maybe we should watch some videos on GoFundMe and stuff and research it a little bit better. But I know that because Coma said Talmud's Float, Jug Ohio, DCG Con, and Camp Zool. That was another thing. We do want to go to Camp Zool, but the last DCG Con we didn't get to go to because it cost too much.
Yeah,
we were not going to be able to afford the plane and the cab fare and the hotel and all that.
Yeah.
So, and that would be something I would I don't mind making the videos,
right.
So we'll do some more research. But if you guys think that I just want to make sure that it's done in a respectful way. I don't want people to feel like we're trying to rip them off for our own benefit. We're not getting paid for this. It would strictly just be to get there.
Right.
And we don't make money off of YouTube, so it's not going to benefit me in that way.
Right.
I just want to make sure that people don't take it the wrong way. It's just an idea that I'm trying to come up with of how to make it happen. So
it's tricky.
It really is. I mean, honestly, I want to go to everything, but we just can't.
Yeah. We just got to win the lottery, I guess.
But even that, you win the lottery. It's you have to reinvest it somehow. So the last thing that we have is also I just want to say if you guys have any other ideas, you don't have to comment here. You can message me on Instagram or comment on any of my videos if you have any suggestions, or if you want a more private message. Honestly, Instagram's the way to go for me. But let me know your thoughts. If you think yes, go for it. What's the worst that happens? Just let me know.
Yeah.
The last thing that we have is a new series that's in the works. DC?
Real quick before you do that, the Warlock said you should hold the phone sideways next time.
I couldn't because it was a live stream.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to have it in landscape mode when you set it up. It's tricky to do it. You have to already have it in there or do some kind of setting on it.
Yeah, when I preset the live stream, I think. So when I went in there, it wouldn't let me change it.
Yeah. So that's a YouTube thing. But I know you do landscape now when you do your vlog clips.
Oh,
that was me hey, you need to turn your phone sideways. So
if you go watch my Twisted vlog or Hallowicked vlog or Unity Fest vlog, it's all horizontal.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the last item on the itinerary. Masks and machetes. Raise your hands if you've heard of this game.
Ooh, me.
And if you haven't heard of it, we're going to fill you in what it is. There's an artist in the underground. If you've never heard of him, his name is Low Key. That's LO space KEY. He's fucking dope, man. He's the underground's best kept secret. He's killing shit. He came out with his own game. I think it's been 2 years now that he came out with this. It is like a drinking game, but you don't have to drink to play it. He just released a deluxe version of the game. And so what I want to do is I want to potentially down the road learn this game and do monthly video, do monthly game streams of us playing it, obviously over on her channel. Because that's where we do the gaming stuff, is over on her channel. Again, link is in the description to go subscribe to her channel. But that's an idea we've had.
So the new box set's coming out with better cards and some different adaptations to it. We have ordered it. It hasn't come yet. So the plan is, once it comes, we do want to tune up our skills a little bit and do a how-to play video, like a tutorial first. And then we want to start doing monthly gameplays, possibly, if you guys want.
Yeah.
But the tutorial video needs to happen because there is none out there.
Right.
So if you want to play it, there's nothing to watch. And some people just don't do well with reading.
Yeah.
Some people just like, they're visual learners, and there needs to be a tutorial video.
Yeah. And I do want to put a disclaimer out there. It was actually Low Key that reached out to me and like suggested doing that. So the idea did come from him, and we love the idea. That's something we're interested in doing. Mm-hmm. So if you know nothing about Masks and Machetes, you can head to masksandmachetes.com and learn about the game. It's really fun. We've played it one time. There is a live stream over on her channel of us doing that. It's fun. But yeah.
But it's not very good, okay?
That was our first time ever playing the game. So
so that's why I said we want to do it more professionally and do like an actual tutorial.
Yeah.
A serious one where we're like not bantering and we're not talking over each other, like we're serious.
Right. Oh, I think we've been streaming for like 2 hours.
Have we? There's a lot. We did a lot this last week.
Yeah, we're at an hour and 55 minutes.
So we finally today are like still finishing up like unpacking and laundry and
and then I apparently have gotten sick in the process because I'm fighting off something. I took
oh my god, and
like an hour nap earlier, and I don't do that.
Another thing about that freaking pet place is both of our dogs came home with diarrhea.
Yeah, so that's been fun cleaning up shit.
So I don't know where they have like their kennel cough, they have their vaccinations, they have heartworm. I don't know what they got from that place, but they both had diarrhea. It's been a hot fucking mess.
For real.
We had to invest in a carpet cleaner.
Yeah.
So that's what we did today, was clean up all the blood and liquid shit stains on our carpet. So it's just been crazy. We're still trying to unwind from Hallowicked, but it was an amazing trip. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. We have been talking about plans for the future.
Oh, yes.
Possibly going to Hallowicked every other year versus every year, because they do Unity Fest bi-yearly. They do it every 2 years. Yeah. So I think we legit this weekend doing Unity Fest, doing Fright Fest, doing Hallowicked, it felt like a gathering.
I don't want to say that we're not going to go next year because I want to go next year.
Yeah.
But we just like kind of goes back to like finances and like the GoFundMe thing. It's not possible to do everything. So we were trying to think of a way to like do it. So we're like, maybe we do Unity Fest, Fright Fest, and Hallowicked 1 year, and then we do the gathering the next year.
Right, like offset when we go to what?
Yeah. It's just, we just don't know what else to do.
Right.
So maybe we need to research some GoFundMe or memberships or something that we can do.
Of course he would say that. Gathering every other. Get
out of here with that.
Of course
you haven't even been to a gathering yet, dude.
No shit, man. Once you go to a gathering, you'll understand, man. Because honestly, and here's the thing, Ecoside, I know you have trouble getting that time off, but if you can get out there at least for the last 2 days of it,
listen.
I feel like you would love it so much. And we plan on doing hotel gatherings from now on. So, like, yeah, man.
Listen, okay, I got you. You need me to call your work. I could be your sick aunt, your sick mother, your sick cousin. I'll be your sister. I don't care. You let me know. I got you. You just say the word, and I will do it for you.
Yeah.
I will call that you have to go to a funeral. I will call that you're sick and you can't talk. You're so bad. You just let me know. If it will get you there, I will do it.
Some places require you to provide an obituary. Isn't that fucked up? Like, your family member died and they want you to prove that they died. I can
crazy. Make you a fake one of that too. I got you.
Hell yeah. Survived by. Trying to get a camper to the gathering.
Good luck getting a ticket.
Yeah, I think I'm just done with the whole camping experience, honestly. Like, we loved the last 2 days of this year's gathering, just being able to go to the hotel.
The first 2 gatherings that we went to, we camped at. We had absolutely no issues. had a blast. This last year, we had issues getting in. We had issues getting a campsite. We had issues at our campsite. We're just over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll like. I don't want to say we're not going to Hallowicked because I love Hallowicked.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe it's something we can discuss when it gets closer.
Right. Well, and the venue is going to be everything. Like if it's at the Masonic Temple, my interest in it's immediately going to go up. If they was to ever do it at St. Andrews again, my interest would go up.
We would probably want to do like the pre-show then, which that costs extra. So
yeah. But yeah, I think we should wrap it up. We're
is there any questions you guys have before we wrap this live stream up? Any last thoughts, questions, pondering,
Fright Fest
desires?
Huh? Fright Fest had.
Whoops.
Fat thumbs. I hate them. I got fat thumbs. I car camped and tent camped, but I want a camper with a toilet and a bed. Like if we were able to find a camper, like we'd be interested in doing that as well. But we were just so happy with the hotel experience. So, by the time you pay for a car pass,
I think
RV pass, if you're doing that, RVs cost probably more than the hotel does.
With my dietary restrictions, it's kind of tough being at a gathering and I can't eat anything there at all. Anything. I can't have anything. So it's like I have to pack stuff and I don't want to carry a cooler around. So it's like dry goods. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was so nice to be able to go to a hotel and have a microwave. Like something so simple as a microwave and a refrigerator allowed me to have like string cheese and I could have popcorn and it allowed me to, it was nice.
Yeah. Echocyphine said, Fright Fest has been at St. Andrews every year the past several years. Bet, man. That's the shit. Next time I'm going on the balcony, though.
Did you see what Happy Camper just
said? Yeah, I know. I apologized earlier about that. When I set it up, I didn't realize it was going to do that during the live stream. Normally that's after, which honestly, I don't know why I clicked on the mid-rolls. The mid-rolls annoy me when I watch other people's shit. So I probably from now on won't ever do mid-rolls again. I'll probably after this turn that off now.
Yeah.
They are annoying.
But I don't think there's any other questions.
People had campers in the car pass areas. But that's the thing, like it was so disorganized that typically it was first come, first serve. They didn't have designated areas. They just honestly the gathering, they just dropped the ball really fucking bad.
And then too, like security, like they wouldn't let you pick where you wanted to camp at. They would take you there.
Right.
Like they were gonna tell you where you were gonna camp at. I'm like, I don't like this at all.
No, like the first 3 years for me that we went, like it was you gave them your ticket, they give you the pass, you went in, you found where you wanted to camp, you claimed it as your fucking spot for the weekend, and that was it. This one they were like, oh, you need to come over here, and we had to lie and say that we had people in the campground we wanted.
Yeah. DC is just used to me doing shit like that, like sneaking drinks in, sneaking into VIP.
Right. Oh, yeah. I get you, Happy Camper. Yeah, that shit. Lesson learned. But, yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly, Lorgasm. We just had issues with it. So, honestly, I'm just good camping. I mean, I'm just good hotel gathering from now on. I really am.
Yeah, we had issues even just getting in, and we got there early.
Yeah. We got there early because we knew they were letting people in early. And they're like, oh, you can't come in until 9. And I was like, what?
And then they didn't even let us until 10.
Right.
Bullshit.
Like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah.
All right.
So.
I think we're going to end this, though. So, thanks for coming back on for Juggalo Talk.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a while. Like I said,
I'm sorry
Juggalo
that I
Talk.
talked so much and ranted in the beginning.
You're good.
I was just like, it was hot. You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, you were passionate about it. You know what I mean?
I feel like we really haven't talked about any of this since we've been home.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just had like a lot in me.
And that's why I think Juggalo Talk is going to be reserved for these kind of occasions because, like, doing a weekly or bi-weekly podcast is like run out of things to talk about. But when you wait so long to do it, and you do it after an event, man, it's like I'm gonna be honest, man. Doing previous episodes of Juggalo Talk, sometimes I had to force myself to come in and do it. But like tonight, I was ready to go. I was excited. I was amped up. I knew what I wanted to talk about. Like this is the way.
So Juggalo Talk's like just gonna be a post-concert.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. I'll see.
I'm cool with doing that, like a recap show kind of thing. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you and peace.